What's up everybody, we're back with another video, and in today's video we're pretty much doing a monthly update on what's gone around since the last month that I did my update. At the moment, not really much can be said for what's going on because there's not a lot happening. We have a lot of plans in the works. Obviously I'm not going to really tell you them now because either they might not materialize or, you know, something might go wrong in between, and I'd rather just make sure that I've done everything instead of making false promises and getting you all hyped up and then it not working out. So what has actually happened? Okay, so let's start off with the bad stuff. That's always like, that's just the way it goes with me. Alright, so I'm sure as many of you know, this is my 180 gallon aquarium or 700 liter aquarium. Plus or minus a few gallons and liters. I can't really bother to be specific. It's a rough estimate. You guys get the point. It's big. That's what she said. Sorry. The bad news. Okay, so as you can see, there's plenty of fish in here. There's Daisy, my Oscar on the left-hand side. We have my Midas that we still have to name. We have my Severum, who we have to name. We have a bunch of a bunch of tinfoil barbs. We have 7 of them. We have a lemon barb. We have a giant gourami. We have a pacu, a red-bellied pacu. We have a silver arowana, and we have 2 giraffe-nosed catfish, and we have a ripsaw catfish who is trying to hide in the rocks. So we have a fair few fish. But as you guys can tell, one fish is missing, and that fish really bummed hard when I lost it, and that was Flame, my flower horn. And this is something that was 100% completely my fault. Completely my fault. So when the events of Flame, the extinguishing we will call it, happened, I made a number of mistakes. And I'll start with the first one. So the first thing I noticed was that Flame looked bloated, and I just thought, because what would happen in his own little tank, I was monitoring the amount of food I was giving him. I was feeding him 3 times a day. I was feeding him about 6 floating sticks every like 3 or 4 hours. These Hikari floating sticks. So I thought when he moved into the new tank, what happens is I feed every other day. I just get a whole bunch of floating sticks, wham, I throw it in. I throw in some sinking pellets, wham, I throw in some prawns, whatever I threw in. But I was never able to then directly target feed him because he had free reign, he had to share with other fish. So I just thought he was eating too much. Then after that, he'd been torn up a bit from the Oscar Daisy. And that's nothing too bad. You know, cichlids fight, I was fine with that, but he just didn't look right. But I kept on passing it off as, you know, he's just balancing out with Daisy, and he's getting used to being in a community tank, whatever. And then I think there was just one day where I was like, you know, he doesn't look right. And so I took him out of the aquarium and I put him into the cube tank, which was empty. That was the hospital tank at the time. And that was my mistake. And I think I know this is what actually done him in, because as soon as I put him in that tank, he lost all his color and he just acted really weird. He didn't move, and I came in the next day and he was dead. And the reason is because the temperature in the hospital tank, I forgot I had raised the temperature up for when I have to treat ick and stuff like that. And I think the temperature shock mixed in with the stress and whatever else he was actually ill with got to him. That was it. And that was my mistake. And what I'm really bummed about the most is out of all the flower horns I've had, I've only managed to keep one alive, and that's because I rehomed it. So it's still alive in a new home where the owner actually has multiple flower horns and they know what they're doing. Whereas I've lost the female flower horn that we had, the big one. I've lost Kevin, I've lost... someone else came in with Flame and Kevin who got killed by Flame. I lost that, I lost Flame, and I lost my first flower horn, which was the little blue one. So I've lost all my flower horns, which is not good. I really love flower horns, and I've just not been able to keep any of them alive. So I don't know if it's the supplier that I've got them all from, or if it's just my bad husbandry, because, you know, all the other fish, for the most part, seem to be doing well. All the other fish in there seem to be doing well. You know, I added in the Midas recently. He's not that big. He was, you know, he was smaller than Flame, so he's doing fine. So I don't know what it was, but I lost Flame, and it was my fault. I was absolutely gutted. This literally happened the day after I filmed and uploaded the February update. So I've had a month to get over it, which is why I'm not very like weepy, but I am. I didn't want to make a separate video for it just because it sucks to focus on such a negative thing as a one whole episode. But I did love Flame. He was a really, really nice flower horn. He wasn't the best, but he had great colors. He had great personality. He was getting his nuclear hump. You know, it was just really great to see him from like a little tiny cichlid and, you know, growing up and developing, and it was just such a lovely experience, and I'm so gutted I wasn't able to give him the best life I could have. So like I said, that was on me, and that's something I had to learn the hard way, unfortunately, which sucks. But other than that, everything else seems to be fine for the most part. I've noticed, however, a few of the silver dollars have got nips to their dorsal fins. You know, that one is particularly bad compared to the rest. And I don't know if it's from the Vieja or from the African cichlids. I have a feeling it's the African cichlids. You know, the time to start moving fish is upon us. I might, you know, wait till next month to move fish around, because by then, the people down here will also be ready to move out of their quarantine tank. And so as you can see, I have added in some tinfoil barbs. Yay! My favorite fish, more or less. There's two reasons for doing this. The first one was the silver arowana were very, very shy, and I really did want them to feel comfortable, so I got them some tinfoil barbs, which could act as dither fish, like I've said. Tinfoil barbs school, and then they have that capability to act as dither fish. And they came in at a great price. Usually these guys are £5 and up a piece, anywhere from £5 to £8 a piece. These guys were $3.50 a piece for all 6 of them, so they were really cheap. And so I just decided, let me get them all, because I was thinking of getting them anyways, like I said in a previous video. So I went ahead and got them. Good news is the silver arowanas are actually starting to eat. I've only seen 2 of them eat out of the 3. The third one is very shy. But they are starting to eat, put on some size is what I want. And once they move into another aquarium, probably the 4-foot aquarium that I just had you guys on, then I will be able to monitor them a lot better. But for the most part, they don't look sick. They just kind of hide a lot at the moment, especially when I'm around. But if you've checked out on my Instagram page, you'll see that they have been eating, and they do come out and every now and then. Finally, there is the update on my Florida gar. Unfortunately, the bottom layer where they usually hide is completely filled up with algae, so it's hard to see them. But they are putting on some size. They're getting nice and fat. They're eating every day, which is really good. I think they eat 6 days a week. And again, my aim is to get these guys as big as possible so that they can go up into here. But I'm just waiting, so what is the worry with them being this small is, at the moment, my last gar had the same issue, or my first gar, not my last gar. He was small, and he got spooked one night. He went into the glass really hard and broke his back. At this size, they're very brittle, so they break very easily, and so that's why I want to get them fattened up. I want their muscles to get stronger, and also they don't freak out as much when they're bigger. They're more comfortable in their space, so they're less likely to dart around the tank and get hurt, which is essentially what we want to try and avoid, hence the feeding every day. But they are eating, and they're eating really nicely. Same thing with the arowanas. So everyone is actually doing well, other than unfortunately for Flame. But yeah, nothing big has actually happened this month. So other than the tanning light that, you know, we're now starting to tan the arowana, that's really it. That's it for today's video. Like I said, not much has gone on this month. I don't even know if there's going to be something big happening next month. Next month is April, May. Yeah, May time is when things are going to start picking up, I hope. And then I can start doing some really neat things. So fingers crossed that starts to progress. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. And as always, peace out.